Play it cool, treat 'em mean to keep 'em keen, act disinterested. Dear Lord, stop. Please don't ever do that. In this video, I want to talk about 5 reasons good, incredible men are never attracted to you when you play it cool and the damage that this mentality and mindset actually does. Welcome to the channel. If you've been here before, welcome back. Let's dive straight in. Number 1 is it subcommunicates low confidence when you play it cool. Now, I know what you might be thinking. You're thinking, Mark, you just wait there, Mark. 2 weeks ago, you published a video on why men are very attracted to women who don't try hard. You're contradicting yourself, sir. Actually, I'm not. Here's the difference. When you're not trying hard, as I was talking about in the 2 weeks ago video, what I'm talking about is relaxing. I'm talking about, okay, I was feeling nervous, I was feeling anxious, but I'm actually finding a way to put that aside, to relax, to not overpressure myself, to breathe in, to be okay with what is, and to not try too hard. That's confidence. Playing it cool is not that. Playing it cool is saying, well, I'm too nervous and anxious to be relaxed, but I don't want to admit that I'm nervous and anxious, because if I admit that I'm nervous and anxious, then the guy's going to see me as low confidence. So actually, I'm going to play it cool to pretend to be that relaxed, confident person and slap it on like a coat of paint over the top of my anxiety to pretend the anxiety doesn't exist. It subcommunicates that you don't believe you're enough as you are when you play it cool. And any man who has good confidence himself is going to feel this from you. You would honestly be so much better simply saying, wow, you know, I came on this date and actually I almost canceled this morning because I was feeling anxious and feeling nervous meeting you. But you know what? I'm feeling proud of myself for being here. You've already communicated so much more confidence just by admitting that you're not confident than you would if you tried to play it cool and act confident. Playing it cool subcommunicates low confidence, and every guy with decent confidence himself is going to pick up on it. So unless you want low confident guys who play it cool themselves, one big reason to stay away from this pattern. The second, which segues right in here, is who you attract. I'm sure that you have run into guys who play it cool and you know they're doing it. And you've also run into guys who are really genuine and really authentic. Now, sometimes in women with certain emotionally unavailable habits, you might find yourself more attracted to the guy who's playing it cool. We don't attract what we want, we attract what we are. And so sometimes it's scary to attract that better person. So look at who you're attracted to for this to be a guide as well. But if you're serious about attracting someone who loves you for you, a really good, solid guy who doesn't have wounds and trauma that he's going to vomit onto you at some point in the future, then you want to attract a man with good core confidence. And so if you want that, you're going to have to show up that way yourself, more or less. You don't have to be perfect, but you have to be attempting to show up as best as possible in that way. The people you attract when you're playing it cool are not that. They're going to be people who say, oh, you're really hot and mysterious, and there's something over your heart that I can't access. And you know what? I'm okay with that. There's something over my heart that I can't access myself either. Let's keep it that way. And those are the type of people you end up attracting when you play it cool. Third reason, big one, is it makes it hard for the guy to bond to you. Any man whose heart is open himself, who really wants to bond with a good woman, he's not going to bond to you if you're playing it cool. Humans bond over feelings first and foremost. Experiences, yes. Opinions, yes. But most deeply over feelings. Especially when it's a man responding to a woman, he's waiting for you to be open to him. Because his biological sense of how useful he is depends almost 100% on how he affects your feelings. So if you're playing it cool, your feelings are masked. They're dark. He doesn't know you. So compared to a woman who's not playing it cool, you're going to be perceived as less confident. Again, if you want a man who doesn't want to bond with you, and if you have certain emotionally unavailable habits yourself, these guys might be really attractive. Well, a guy that plays it cool is probably going to be really attractive to you, and you're going to be really attracted to him if you play it cool. But that relationship is going to stay superficial because you're both avoiding your trauma until you can't anymore, and one of you is going to hurt the other. But if you want a guy who's really going to bond to you, then you've got to be open to be bonded with. As the woman, you're going to lead the openness in the bonding. And that's a third big reason to never play it cool, because if you want that bond, a guy who wants a bond with you, he's not going to respond to playing it cool. Number 4, which is a sad one, is guys can perceive it as disinterest. If you play it cool, you're going to have naturally many men, especially online, but it can be offline too, who are going to think, she's just not interested. Playing it cool gives these blurry, weird, grey signals. And with blurry, weird gray signals coming from you, how can you ever know what he is doing and what it means? Give clarity to get clarity. If you're not sure if a guy is into you, give him a clear green light and you immediately know if he doesn't act on the green light, then he's not into you. But what is a clear green light? It's literally just not playing it cool. It's saying, hey, yep, I'm curious about you. Hey, yep, I'd be open to a phone call. Yep, I'd be interested in another date. And if a guy doesn't respond to that, his lack of clarity is your clarity. That's a huge win. But if you're playing it cool, you can't know. You're going to be in these weird mind games where guys take up way more of your mental space than they should because you don't know if he is not asking you out because you played it cool or if he's not asking you out because he actually liked you but was just a good man who didn't want to make you uncomfortable or feared a little bit of rejection and didn't really want to go there. So playing it cool not only messes with you, which we'll talk about in a second, but it messes with his ability to read you. And that's number 5. It messes with you. When you're playing it cool, you're diminishing yourself and you're not growing in the dating process. There is nowhere else in life that brings up our triggers, that makes us uncomfortable, that makes us question ourselves, makes us feel insecure than dating and relationships. If we've had any wounds around our parents, if we've had any wounds around past lovers, you better believe they're going to get tossed up when you're back in dating and relationships as an adult. So if you're playing it cool, you're basically hiding vulnerability. And when relationships are built out of vulnerability, you're essentially practicing a skill that is the opposite of the thing that's going to win you the game, if that makes sense. It's almost like trying to learn chess by throwing a football or something. You're doing the opposite skill of the thing that's actually going to help you. So approaching relationships with a sense of, oh, I'm going to make sure I'm not vulnerable, i.e. I'm going to play it cool, means that you're getting the reverse skill of the thing you actually need to bond to someone and to grow yourself as a human, to maybe have some insecurities triggered, to have that stuff kicked up that you need to work through. You're not going to be doing any of that in dating, and so you're certainly not going to end up doing it in a relationship if you even get one. Relationships bring up stuff. I still have stuff brought up by my marriage to this day, and I still have stuff to work through. Dating's going to bring it up. Relationships will always bring it up. There's always more work to do. Playing it cool is essentially avoiding the work. And if you avoid the work over and over again, you're never going to get any better. You're never going to get any more confident. And actually, you're going to get less confident because you're going to be hiding away from it in every interaction that you have. If you avoid rejection, hey, I want to play it cool so I don't feel rejected, eventually you're going to become so fragile to rejection that opening yourself up is going to get harder and harder as the years go on. So there's 5 big reasons to never play it cool with the guy that you like. If you want more, I'll probably do another video on it. And if you want one-on-one coaching with a no-man, no-fee guarantee, hit me up, book a call. The link is in the description. Subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next video very soon.